question 5 is worth 25 marks. And it has part A, B, and C. So the first part is about sketching the net of the surface of the cylinder and write its dimensions on the sketch. So you have a solid cylinder with a radius of 10 millimeters and a height of 45 centimeters. So with a net, it's kind of like the wrapping up paper of the surface. So you'd have the same, so you'd have the circle, which would be the two ends of the cylinder. So they'd be, have radius 10 millimeters. So the radius would be, or the diameter would be 20 millimeters. The body of the cylinder, well, that would be become a rectangle. You can imagine that again being the wrapping up paper of the cylinder. How much would you need? Well, that part would have to go all around that circle. So if that's the radius, the length of the side is going to be 2 pi times the radius. 2 pi times the radius, so the radius is 10, so if I approximate pi is 3.14, that's going to be 62.8 millimeters. The height or the length of that is going to be, well, the height of the cylinder, so that's going to be 45 millimeters. So that's the net of the cylinder, which was question 1. So we draw a sketch of the net of the surface of the cylinder and write its dimensions. Part B. Calculate the volume of the cylinder. Give your answer in terms of pi. Well, the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. So r is equal to 10 and h is equal to 45. So then that means the volume is equal to pi times 100, because r squared is 100, times 45. So that's going to be 4500 pi millimeters cubed. So that's part B. So it says give your answer in terms of pi. So I'll fix that. And it says part C, a sphere has the same volume as the cylinder. Okay, so we can say that we have the expression for the volume of a sphere. So 4/3 pi r cubed is equal to whatever the volume of the cylinder is. So from that we can work out what the radius of the sphere with the same volume is. Then we just use that radius in the expression for the surface area of the sphere, and we're done. So back here it says give your answer in terms of pi, and actually we have it in terms of pi, so that's handy. So if you have a sphere which has the same volume, that means that 4/3 pi r cubed is equal to 4,500 pi. Well, then the pi's cancel, so that's easy. Then the radius cubed is equal to 4,500 times 3/4. Well, 4,000 divided by 4 is 1,000. That's going to be 500 is going to be 125 times 3. So that's going to be 3,375. So then what's the radius? Well, you just get the cube root of 3,375 on your calculator, and that's 15. So now we know that the sphere, which has the same volume as our cylinder, has a radius of 15 millimeters. So now what's the surface area of that? Well, the surface area is 4 pi r squared. So surface area is 4 pi r squared. Well, the radius is 15. So 4 pi times 15 squared. So 15 squared is what? 225. So that's going to be 900 pi millimeters squared. So just check the question again. A sphere has the same volume as the cylinder. So we worked out what the volume of the cylinder was in part B. Find the surface area of the sphere. So we just work out. So if a sphere has the same volume as the cylinder, then that sphere would have a radius of 15 millimeters. So then if you want to find the surface area of a sphere with a radius of 15 millimeters, you just plug 15 millimeters into 4 pi r squared, and that gives us our answer. So we're done.